Welcome to the Carl Jackson podcast. The next couple of episodes are going to be a little different because I'm going to share with you some knowledge and information that I think will be of benefit to all of you. And Season 8 has been amazing. It's been absolutely amazing. Season 9 and Season 10 will be the final two seasons. So I wanted to do something on this episode that I felt would be positive for everyone. One of the things I like to do, I like to go to the beach and think, explore my thoughts, explore God's creation, and just listen to the waves, you know? Can you hear the waves? Listening to the birds. It's beautiful, right? One of the things that we don't do anymore is we don't seem to value our time. We value social media. I'm guilty of that. You know, it's always something on social media to look at, to watch. We value dinners with our friends and family. We value money. We value things, but we don't value our time, you know? Because if we did, we would spend it more on meditation for ourselves first and with our friends and family, right? Then we would spend it on talking to God. Talking to God is very interesting for me because there's so much I want to tell him. Some of it is good and some of it is like, what? You know? Last night I had that. Last night I was in deep thought, confusion, and if I'm honest, I didn't give it to God. I gave it to God with the aspect of, I don't care anymore, you know? Just whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And at first I was like, oh man, this is not good. You know, I'm negative. And a lot of it was negative, you know? A lot of it was negative energy. But it was what I was feeling, you know? When I woke up this morning, though, I realized that that's actually the way we're supposed to come to God. We come to God with our stress, with our troubles, with our thoughts, with our concerns. And we're supposed to just leave it there. Tell him what we're feeling and leave it there. And that's not easy, you know? That's not an easy thing to do. It's not easy to release the burden, stress that you're carrying. It's not easy. It's actually hard. Because we're so used to, we're told to fix it, figure it out. Sometimes you can't figure it out. Sometimes it's like, hey, I can't figure this out. This was a doozy. And last night was that for me, Last night was very difficult thing for me to just go, you know what? I don't know what to do. And I don't know if God really listens, so I said this to him. I said, I don't even care about the mission anymore. You can give it to somebody else. I just want to have a regular life, take care of my daughter for the few years I have with her left, which is only probably 6 or 7 years. Got to have a job, got to have money in a house. But if I'm not supposed to do the podcast, the networks, the filming, the movies, it's okay, God, it's okay. Like, I just want to enjoy the rest of my years on this planet in peace. We'll see what God says about that, We'll see. I'm not attached to anything anymore. Not the way I was. True peace is knowing that no matter what, God is in control and things are going to work out. That's true peace. It's just knowing that the universe, some people call it universe, some people call it God, but he's in control and everything's going to work out. You just have to believe it, It's hard to believe. That's the catch. Sometimes it's hard to believe. It's hard to imagine how not knowing is trust. Not knowing the next steps is trust. Not knowing is having faith. Not knowing. Not knowing is having faith. Is trusting God, And then honestly releasing it and letting it go. So today I challenge you all to do this exercise with me today. First we're going to say, or I'm going to say it and I want you to say it. Divine energy, I thank you for all my blessings. I thank you for this day. Forgive me for all the negative things that I've said that came from a place of insecurity. Divine energy, I thank you for the life you've given me, the peace you've given me, and I will do whatever you want me to do. You know my needs, you know my thoughts even before I ask you for anything. You know my thoughts before I think them. So I trust you to guide me in whatever state my life is in. I say divine energy because there's so many arguments about if we should call him Jesus, if we should call him God, if we should call him so many different titles. Should we call him Yahuwah, Yahusha, Lily of the Valley, Bright Morning Star? Like, what do we call him? I say divine energy because high frequency divine energy to me represents it all. It represents it all for me. Part of meditation also is not saying anything, but being silent. So we're going to do that for a few minutes. We're just going to listen to the waves. I want everybody to close their eyes. And for the next 3 to 4 minutes, we're gonna listen to the waves of the ocean. Most of the time, most of the time when I do this, I do it for like 20 or 30 minutes. And I would say if you can do 20 or 30 minutes of just silence, no thought, no thinking, just listening, see what comes to you. But more importantly, just being silent before God. To me, that is the best thing to do. So we're going to do that because of time. We're not going to do 20 or 30 minutes of just silence and ocean noises, right? Of course, that may not be a bad idea. But what we are going to do is for 4 or 5 minutes, we're just going to listen to the waves. And I want you guys to close your eyes or watch the ocean and meditate. Think on anything you want to think about that's positive or no thought at all. All right. If you meditated with me, then you actually should be feeling better. You should feel brighter. You should feel more peace, calm. The power is in the calm. The power is in the peace. The power is in the faith. Faith is basically not knowing. That's what faith is. Not knowing. The scripture should have said faith is the substance of things that you don't know, but will bring you the evidence of everything that you desire. Eventually. But you have to not know. That's it. That's the secret. Have no plan. Have no plan of action. Have a blueprint for the day. You know, have a blueprint for the year of what your goals are. But once you've established what that is, release it and let it go. And as your life unfolds, you just follow the path. That's the key. Chaos teaches us to always have a plan. But the problem with having a plan is things will still show up in your life that you didn't know was coming. And you're not going to be prepared for it. Your mother might have cancer out of the clear blue. Your kids might decide they never want to speak to you again. The banks might close and all your money is gone. Or you might trusted a partner that took every dime from you. I met a guy the other day who said that he had a partner that he trusted with his life. And one day his partner said, "Hey, I need to borrow the money that's in our business account." He said, "Okay, that's fine." He said he's done it many times and he's always put it back. That last time he borrowed the money. It was $4 million, and after he borrowed the $4 million, the guy filed for bankruptcy. Left his partner hot and dry. His partner was devastated. My friend, he was devastated. But he said he was 52 years old. His nest egg was in that business. And overnight, he had to start over. But he started over and ended up starting a company that is now worth over $200 million. Friend of mine. So it doesn't matter if your plans don't matter. Things are just going to happen the way they're supposed to happen. But if you trust God or the universe or whoever you believe in that's of the divine energy, it's going to unfold in a way that you can't even imagine. It's going to be a good thing. It's not going to be a bad thing. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Part 2 is coming in a few minutes. You can catch it next week. Same time, same station. I'm going to be talking about demon energy on the next episode. Season 8. Be well.